In this video, we're going to be going over the new update grid for video game price charts. This allows you to view and selectively update pricing on specific items for video game price charts without having to do it either individually or for every item in your store that's not marked Do Not Update. So to access this feature, you just go to your databases and then VGPC screen, and when we get to the bottom of it where you normally would update all of your inventory, there will be a new button available here in this version. There is a similar option available in the back office, but we're going to focus on the Windows one for this video. So you would do your update as normal, and we just have kind of a sample file in here. We're also going to discuss a new pricing feed that is available in this upcoming version. So we hit View Update Grid instead of our usual Update Store Database button. It's here, and it's going to show us, and I'm just going to maximize it here so you can see as much as possible, the items that we have in our store that are also in video game price charts so that we can easily compare prices. So by default, it's going to show quite a lot here. You'll notice all these checkboxes at the bottom that control what gets shown and what doesn't. So it's always going to show the item ID, the name, the department, and category. The department and category are from your system. They're not like video game price charts category. Although if you brought it in from video game price charts, then it will probably match. You can show your new and used stock quantity. That's controlled by show stock information down here. You can show current new, VGPC new, and alt retailer new. So what these are is current new is your new price in the store right now. VGPC new is the new price suggested by VGPC's base retailer fee. That's the base fee we've had for many years. And then alt retailer new is using the pricing of another major retailer. Now that's been available for a long time as well, but it also on older categories such as Game Boy Advance, which is what we have here, will not have anything. It will be 0. You can, in addition to showing new pricing, which controls whether those show at all, which I will uncheck, and you can see that those columns go away. If I recheck them, they reappear. You can also select which feeds you're showing. So there are 4 feeds available, which not all of them have something for every type of pricing. So you can show current prices, which is your price in your inventory. You can show VGPC retail prices, which are the baseline suggested prices by video game price charts. The alt retailer prices, which is only available for new, used one, and trade-in one for credit. And you can show market prices, which are only available for used and used two. And those market prices are defined by things like eBay and Amazon listings and that kind of thing. They're not necessarily meant for a retail store, but if you're in an area where you're competing heavily with the online marketplaces, you may have to go with that pricing. So you can uncheck, if we uncheck show current prices, for example, you'll notice that for our new column, the current new disappears. So a column will only show for pricing if you have both sides checked. So if you uncheck either show new or show current, the current new won't show, and that's true for every one of the pricing columns. They're all controlled by 2 of these checkboxes. So if we uncheck all of these checkboxes on this side, for instance, which are the different feeds, then we won't have any pricing data. So you probably don't want to uncheck all of these, but it will retain these settings. You can also hide the stock information if you don't care about that. Now, if we want to update some of these items to match up with the pricing, we can just select as many as we want, which you can click and drag. You can also hold down the control key as you click, and it will click on each individual one. And then you can also click, instead of control, you can do shift, and it will select a range by just clicking. So we'll just say we want to update these top 2, for example. You just hit update selected. You can select whether you're going to print labels for updates, which will, similar to when you do a mass update, put it into the queue to print through the label utility. You can select which pricing you're going to update, new, used, or trade. and you can select which price feed you're going to use. So for new and trade, it will be the base retail feed or the alt retailer feed. And for columns that are not available through the alt retailer feed, it will always fall back on the base VGPC feed. So for uh, new, that's not really the case, but for trade values, there are columns that there is no alt retailer feed for, or for used, there is not an alt retailer used two. They only have a used one. So just be aware of that. If you uncheck, for example, update new, it won't update the new. So if we just wanted to update used, for example, to match the market feed, we can do that. So if we do that, you can see if you look behind us here that the current used to on this is $26.99. The market used to is $8.99. And market used is $25.39 versus a current used of $8.95. Worth mentioning, this is using a set of test data from video game price charts. These prices are not going to be legitimate for this video, but when you're actually subscribed, you'll get more accurate pricing. So if we check that, it's going to tell us that those items were successfully updated. You can see that the current used now matches the market used. The current used here matches market used. Current used 2 matches market used 2, I should say. And of course, you can then do other items if you want to. So you can also, if you see down here the filter, you can filter to different categories. These are just categories within the system. Like I mentioned, there's only Game Boy Advance games in here, but you can see this is by the category within your inventory, not within price charting. So if we filter to none, we'll just get those 4. So you could do that to do just a specific category if you were only wanting to update certain items, or this is also a way you could use different feeds for your different items. But that's pretty much it for this grid. I do want to also mention that you can get here not just from here, but you can also go through store and then items, and then you can go to more, and then management, and then VGPC price grid, and that'll bring it up as well. So if you have any questions, just reach out to us. This will be available in the next release as of the time of recording, sometime in late August. But reach out to us with any questions, and otherwise, you have a great day.